All right, let's talk about Kaizen, but we're not going to do the usual corporate version. We're going to strip away all of that fluff and find the real core idea here, especially for anyone out there who tends to get stuck in their own head.
So, when you hear Kaizen, I want you to just forget about those cheesy motivational posters you see in the office break room. Nope, that is not what this is about. And it's not about optimizing factory floor metrics or trying to turn yourself into some kind of productivity robot. And it is absolutely not about that optimize every second of your life nonsense. To be honest, if that's what Kaizen was, it would be the worst possible advice for an overthinker.
Instead, let's look at a totally different idea of what Kaizen can be. Think of it less as a productivity tool and more as a way to create psychological safety. It's a method for giving your own mind permission to start moving again without triggering that familiar internal shutdown.
To really get how this works, first we have to understand why. Why does our brain hit the pause button in the first place? What is actually going on inside the mind of an overthinker? Well, there's a huge misconception out there. Most people just assume, and hey, maybe you've told yourself this 1,000 times, that inaction is a sign of being lazy or undisciplined. But the real problem isn't about a lack of effort. It's that, for some of us, effort itself feels unsafe. Big goals, big plans, big expectations, they don't inspire you, they just overwhelm you. So your brain senses that risk and just slams on the emergency brake.
And this is a really crucial point. Your brain isn't trying to sabotage you, it's trying to protect you. Overthinking isn't some deep character flaw, it's a protection strategy, a learned behavior your mind uses to keep you safe from failure or embarrassment or judgment. And this perfectly captures that disconnect, right? From the outside, what you're doing might look like procrastination, but from the inside, it feels like caution. It feels necessary.
So, if the problem is this feeling of being unsafe, the solution can't be to just fight that instinct. You have to respect it. The goal then is to make movement feel safe again. And this is the fundamental shift in thinking. Typical productivity advice always asks, how do I push myself harder? It's a question of force. The Kaizen question, though, is so much gentler and so much more effective. It asks, how do I make movement feel safe again? This is why so much of that get motivated advice just doesn't work for overthinkers. It assumes motivation is the problem. But for this kind of mind, action doesn't come from hype. It comes from lowering the perceived threat until your nervous system can actually relax. So, how do we actually do that? The strategy is deceptively simple. Tiny steps. And these aren't weak steps. They're strategic. They're a clever way to sneak right past your brain's built-in alarm system. Here's how it plays out. You take just one laughably small step. Because it's so tiny, your inner alarm system stays quiet. It doesn't even register a threat. Your brain then collects a new piece of data. Hey, movement just happened, and nothing terrible followed. You do this over and over, and you actually begin to rewire the connection between action and anxiety. You see, the real power of Kaizen, at least when you're starting out, isn't really about speed or growth. The biggest outcome, the thing that everything else is built on, is trust. You're teaching yourself that you can take a step and it won't lead to disaster. You are literally rebuilding self-trust. Now, this brings us to a major trap that so many of us fall into, the big plan. We're told to dream big, right? But for an overthinker, that can seriously backfire. The real goal is progress without pressure, and that comes from focusing on what's repeatable. This is just so true. Big plans often become a form of avoidance disguised as ambition. You keep yourself really busy planning and researching and rethinking, all so you never have to face the discomfort of actually starting. The plan becomes a safe little hiding spot. Kaizen takes that hiding spot away. It doesn't ask you for a 5-year roadmap. It just asks one incredibly simple question. What is the smallest possible action you can take today that doesn't provoke any resistance from your mind? The reason this works is that it removes the true enemy here, pressure. Pressure is what causes that freeze response. It's what invites that harsh inner critic to start yelling. And it's what turns simple progress into some high-stakes performance where you feel like you're about to fail. And here it is, the core idea. Consistency isn't built by intensity, it's built by repeatability. If an action is easy enough for you to do even on your worst day, when you have zero motivation, then that's an action that has a future.
That's the real key. This whole approach is a profound shift in mindset. You stop trying to impress yourself with these huge, heroic efforts. Instead, you just start cooperating with your mind. You start working with its protective nature instead of fighting against it. I really want you to let this sink in for a second. You don't need more willpower. You don't need to force yourself forward. That's an exhausting battle, and it's one you don't have to keep fighting.
You don't need a better plan. You don't need to outthink your overthinking. You just need a step that is small enough, so completely unintimidating that your mind doesn't even feel the need to protect you from it.
So I'll leave you with the one question at the very heart of this entire approach. Forget about your big goals for just a moment and ask yourself this. What is one step so small, so laughably easy that your mind won't even bother to argue with it? That's it. That's where you start.